everyone, I'm Marissa Roberto and this is Bar Downloadable presented by 7-Eleven. NHL 22 is scheduled for an October release and EA Sports has been dropping all kinds of news and notes about the game. So here's a quick rapid-fire update with everything we know about NHL 22 so far. NHL 22 is switching over to the Frostbite engine. Other sports games switched to this years ago, but it should help bring a nice visual overhaul as well as improved game physics. Eye tracking, facial animations, and ice glass reflections are all things that EA emphasized. The biggest gameplay addition is X Factors, which will make the top players stand out from the rest. 50 players in Chell will be given these special abilities to help differentiate them. And it looks like X Factor players will be getting a gift from EA Sports much like Madden gives to their 99 Club. Just ask cover athlete Austin Matthews. There are X Factors for everything from skating to shooting to goaltending and hockey IQ. X Factors are split into two tiers, Zone and Superstar abilities. Each X Factor recipient will get a set of secondary superstar abilities and then a Zone X Factor that defines the player's strengths. These X Factors will be game-wide, including HUT and even World of Chell where you'll be able to create custom loadouts. Other details to note are a simplified menu, thank God, because I was getting confused up in there, and the on-ice graphics that will break down each player and where their X Factors are. EA Sports has also scheduled more in-depth videos on Be a Pro, Franchise Mode, and Ultimate Team in early October, so stay tuned and we'll bring you that news when it drops as well. Until then, based on what you've seen so far, what are you most excited about with NHL 22? Let us know in the comments. At our digital E3 this year, we saw a bunch of great announcements, but of course there was that absence left behind, like in years past, because PlayStation just wasn't there. And now that void has been filled with a ridiculously jam-packed showcase that should have you pumped about what's coming. Let's dive right into it, starting with God of War Ragnarok. The combat still looks as incredible and vicious as ever, and this time the story has a run-in with Thor. And his portrayal is a little bit different than that of the MCU. Meanwhile, Insomniac Games will be busy over the next few years with a couple of highly anticipated superhero titles. Spider-Man 2 is scheduled for a 2023 release, and it looks like Peter Parker and Miles Morales will cross paths in this one. Oh, and Venom will play a part in the game as well. If you're wondering why it won't be released until 2023, well, it's largely because of this new title they're working on. That's right, Insomniac is creating a Wolverine game that is sure to mimic the Spider-Man series in combat and story. If this game is anything like we've already seen from Insomniac, then it's gonna be amazing. Although those were the major highlights, the showcase also made waves by announcing a Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. The original was released in 2003 and is still considered one of the greatest RPGs ever. And for you racing fans out there, the ultimate racing simulator Gran Turismo is getting a 7th edition. That's right, Gran Turismo 7 is launching March 2022. Those are just some of the big reveals that happened at the PlayStation Showcase. And the only thing we thought was missing was an update on Hogwarts Legacy. Some of us are just a little desperate for a Wizarding World RPG, okay? Yes. This will be the one game we get him into on a new system. It's gotta be. Well, luckily for us, September has been loaded with a bunch of big name releases, so let's give you a rundown on what you should be checking out. First up, we've got Deathloop. Aha, yes, Deathloop. We've been looking forward to this time loop shooter for a while. Now it's here and it seems as though it has actually surpassed its hype. The early reviews for Deathloop are ridiculous. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10, Metacritic gave it an 88%, and content creators are sharing their sentiments as well. Deathloop might just have Game of the Year potential, so be sure to pick it up, okay? Then there's Psychonauts 2. It's been over 15 years since the original Psychonauts was released, and its sequel has impressed by staying true to what made it great. Ridiculous themes, an intriguing story, and witty dialogue. Double Fine's the best, you know. The gameplay and combat mechanics have also evolved to make Psychonauts 2 a fresh experience from the first. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this game is free on Game Pass, so what's the matter for you? Just pick it up, download it. And if all that is not enough for you, check out games like The Artful Escape, Sonic Colors Ultimate, and WarioWare Get It Together. We let you know. Now go get them. Let us know what you think. NBA 2K22 was released last week, so that means we get to dive into player ratings. This week we're checking out the Toronto Raptors, who seem to have been disrespected a bit. And that's not us being biased, okay? But to be fair, the Raptors are usually disrespected, which obviously I take offense to. And that is me being biased. The highest rated player on the team is Pascal Siakam with an 83, which is tied for the 49th highest rating in the game. There's also one other Raptors player who received a rating in the 80s, and that is Fred VanVleet with an 82. So yeah, OG Anunoby didn't crack the 80 club, and that seems like a slight to the emerging star. It's especially bizarre considering his rating has been 79 for 3 years in a row. He's definitely improved, so I think it's time for a boost 2K. No? And our final story of the day is something I've been obsessing over ever since I laid my eyes on it. I need this now. It's a Lego Super Mario 64 question mark block, and it's not just something I want, it's something I need, okay? Obviously. On the outside, it's a simple block, but once built, it opens up to unveil a bunch of nostalgia. You can build and recreate a bunch of the levels from Super Mario 64, including Bomb Battlefield, Lethal Lava Land, and Cool Mountain with that little penguin included. And at least you can have him in Lego form and he won't be annoyingly crying the whole time. You feel? And 64 players now. The details of this are so ridiculous that if you're a Mario fan or you have a Mario fan in your life, this would make an incredible gift. That's it for me today. We're gonna make this show bi-weekly, so I'll see you again in a couple weeks. Keep gaming and let me know what you're playing in the comments.